Did you know that in April 2026, the average annual percentage yield on a traditional savings account is less than 0.5%? That means your money is actually losing purchasing power. In this video, we'll show you how to navigate this unique economic landscape to make your savings work harder and tackle debt effectively. You'll learn about high-yield options and smart strategies for both saving and paying down debt. If you're looking to get the most out of your money, consider subscribing. And let us know in the comments, what's your biggest question about managing your finances right now? Welcome to April 2026. We're living in a time of high interest rates, which means borrowing money is more expensive than it has been in years. But here's the flip side, and it's a big one. Those same high rates mean your savings can now earn significantly more than they used to. Yet many of us are still keeping our hard-earned cash in traditional savings accounts. The current economic climate in April 2026 offers a compelling opportunity for savers. While borrowing costs remain elevated, this also translates to higher potential returns on deposited funds. Traditional savings accounts, often offering rates around 0.1% APY, are effectively losing purchasing power to inflation. For context, the U.S. inflation rate averaged 3.4% in 2025, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, meaning money in a standard savings account is shrinking in real value. This is precisely why exploring high-yield savings accounts, or HYSAs, becomes so crucial. These accounts, often found at online banks or credit unions, can offer significantly higher annual percentage yields, or APYs. In 2026, it's not uncommon to find HYSAs offering rates between 4% and 5% APY. Imagine that difference. Instead of earning pennies on the dollar, a substantial amount of interest is being generated. Another powerful tool for maximizing savings is the Certificate of Deposit, or CD. Short-term CDs, particularly those with maturities of 6 to 18 months, are currently yielding competitive rates, sometimes matching or even exceeding HYSA rates. This presents a predictable way to lock in a higher return for a defined period. But how does one find the best available rates? Resources like Bankrate or NerdWallet regularly compile lists of top-yielding HYSAs and CDs, allowing for easy comparison based on current market conditions. Consider the common savings account. While convenient, its interest rate often barely keeps pace with inflation, meaning purchasing power diminishes over time. In April 2026, the average savings account yields a mere 0.06% APY, according to Bankrate. This is a stark contrast to the opportunities available elsewhere. This is where certificates of deposit, or CDs, enter the picture. CDs offer fixed interest rates for a set term, typically higher than traditional savings accounts. However, locking funds away for extended periods can feel restrictive. What if there was a way to access funds periodically while still benefiting from those elevated rates? Enter CD laddering. This strategy involves purchasing multiple CDs with staggered maturity dates. For instance, a financial advisor might suggest dividing funds into 5 equal parts, each invested in a CD with a different maturity: 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, and 5 years. When the first CD matures after 1 year, the principal and interest can be reinvested into a new 5-year CD. This process is repeated annually, creating a ladder of maturing CDs. This approach balances the desire for higher yields with the need for liquidity, as a portion of the savings becomes accessible each year. Did you know that by staggering maturities, a CD ladder can provide access to funds approximately every 12 months, depending on the rung? This provides a predictable stream of funds without sacrificing the potential for higher long-term returns. Let's explore a practical application of certificates of deposit, specifically building a CD ladder. Imagine it's January of 2026, and an individual decides to allocate $12,000 towards a CD ladder strategy. This involves dividing the total amount into equal portions, in this case, $1,000 for each month of the year. The first $1,000 is invested in a 12-month CD, maturing in January 2027. The second $1,000 goes into an 11-month CD, maturing in December 2026, and so on, with each subsequent portion placed into a CD maturing 1 month earlier. This creates a staggered maturity schedule. What's the benefit of this approach? Consider the flexibility it offers. As each CD matures, the principal and earned interest become available. This cash can then be reinvested into a new 12-month CD at potentially higher prevailing rates. Isn't it fascinating how a simple structure can adapt to changing economic conditions? By April 2026, for instance, if interest rates have risen, the maturing funds can be reinvested at those improved rates, capturing the upward trend. This contrasts with locking all funds into a single long-term CD, which might miss out on future rate increases. This strategy, therefore, aims to balance access to funds with the potential for enhanced returns in a dynamic rate environment. When managing debt, the interest rate is a critical factor, much like it is for savings. For those grappling with high-interest debt, two popular repayment strategies stand out: the debt avalanche and the debt snowball methods. Understanding these approaches can make a significant difference in how quickly debt is eliminated and how much is paid in interest over time. The debt avalanche method prioritizes paying off debts with the highest interest rates first, while making minimum payments on all other debts. This approach is mathematically the most efficient, as it directly targets the debt that is costing the most money. For example, a credit card with a 25% APR will drain finances much faster than a personal loan at 7% APR. By focusing on the 25% APR debt, a borrower can save considerably more on interest payments in the long run. Conversely, the debt snowball method focuses on paying off debts with the smallest balances first, regardless of the interest rate. This strategy provides psychological wins. Imagine a stack of bills. Paying off the smallest one first, even if it has a lower interest rate, can create a sense of accomplishment and momentum. This can be particularly motivating for individuals who feel overwhelmed by their debt. So, which method is superior? It depends on individual priorities. For pure financial optimization, the Avalanche method is the clear winner, saving an average of over $1,000 in interest compared to the Snowball method over the life of the debt, according to some analyses. However, for some, the immediate gratification of crossing a debt off the list entirely can be more powerful than long-term savings. Choosing the most effective debt payoff strategy is a pivotal step toward financial well-being. It's not a one-size-fits-all decision. Rather, it hinges on an individual's unique financial circumstances and personal preferences. This guide offers a structured approach to analyzing one's debt landscape and selecting a method that aligns with both stated goals and psychological comfort. Consider the debt avalanche method. This strategy prioritizes paying off debts with the highest interest rates first, regardless of their balance size. The primary benefit here is minimizing the total amount of interest paid over time. For example, tackling a credit card with a 25% annual percentage rate before a personal loan at 7% will save significantly more money in the long run. Did you know that carrying high-interest debt can cost the average American household hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars annually in interest charges alone? Alternatively, the debt snowball method focuses on paying off the smallest balances first, creating a psychological win with each debt eliminated. This can be incredibly motivating for those who need to see tangible progress to stay engaged. Imagine clearing a small, nagging balance. That immediate sense of accomplishment can fuel the momentum needed to tackle larger debts. To create a personalized plan, begin by listing all debts, including the balance, interest rate, and minimum payment. Then, decide which method, Avalanche or Snowball, resonates more. If minimizing total interest is the priority, the Avalanche is mathematically superior. However, if motivation and quick wins are key, the Snowball might be the better psychological fit. Next, allocate any extra funds available beyond minimum payments to the chosen target debt. This might involve cutting discretionary spending or finding ways to increase income. A simple budgeting exercise can often reveal hidden opportunities to free up cash. For instance, a recent study by the Financial Health Network showed that households making small, consistent adjustments to their spending could free up an average of $50 per month. Finally, commit to the chosen strategy and track progress regularly. Consistency is paramount. Reviewing the debt payoff plan monthly can help maintain focus and make adjustments if circumstances change. Even with the current economic climate offering higher returns on savings, it's easy for existing debt to become a significant drain. High interest rates on credit cards or loans can feel like a constant uphill battle, eating away at hard-earned money. Did you know that the average American household carries over $10,000 in credit card debt? Source: Experian 2023. This debt often comes with interest rates that can easily exceed 20%, compounding the financial pressure. Fortunately, there are proactive steps that can be taken to alleviate this burden. One effective strategy involves directly negotiating with creditors for a lower interest rate. Think of it like renegotiating a lease. If circumstances have changed or if a better offer is available elsewhere, a creditor may be willing to work with an established customer to keep their business. When approaching a creditor, be prepared. Have a clear understanding of the outstanding balance and the current interest rate. Researching competitor offers, such as balance transfer promotions or lower-rate loans, can provide valuable leverage. This preparation, akin to gathering evidence before a negotiation, strengthens the case for a rate reduction. Often, simply asking can yield results. Many financial institutions have departments specifically for customer retention, and they may be empowered to offer concessions, like a temporary or permanent APR reduction, to avoid losing a customer. It's a small step that can lead to significant savings over time. Sometimes, managing multiple debts can feel like juggling too many balls. When interest rates on those debts are high, it can become particularly challenging to make progress. This is where the strategy of debt consolidation can offer a lifeline. But when does it truly make sense to combine debts? Consider a scenario where an individual has several credit cards with interest rates averaging 20% or more. If they can secure a new loan or balance transfer with a significantly lower fixed rate, say 10%, the savings in interest alone can be substantial. For instance, carrying $10,000 in credit card debt at 20% interest would cost around $2,000 in interest annually. Consolidating that same debt at 10% could reduce the annual interest cost to about $1,000, freeing up $1,000 for principal repayment or other financial goals. Consolidation isn't just about a lower interest rate. It's also about simplifying payments. Imagine receiving 5 different bills each month, each with its own due date and minimum payment. Consolidating these into a single monthly payment can reduce the mental burden and the risk of missing a payment, which can incur late fees and damage credit scores. However, it's important to approach consolidation with a clear understanding of the terms. A balance transfer might come with an upfront fee, and a personal loan will have its own set of interest and repayment conditions. Does a lower monthly payment always translate to long-term savings? Not necessarily, especially if the repayment period is extended significantly, leading to more interest paid over time. Therefore, scrutinizing the total cost and repayment timeline is crucial before committing.